Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's monthly watch list scan. Sorry it's a few days late. I forgot all about it. Didn't realize it was the end of the month. If you watch my previous video, I was actually uh, just realized that I didn't review my August monthly videos, so I just did that the other day. So here's what I have right now. Uh, we have Coca-Cola either way, either direction, MGM, Starbucks, UPS, and Shop. Um, Keep in mind, most of these are looking to the upside, but keep in mind that we're really extended right now, and I don't want to see somebody buying Shop and seeing that there's a $20 target range, and you get all excited and you don't want to use your stop because you're excited about that $20 range, and you end up losing 70% or 100% on this because you got excited about $20 range. This may never see 1602. May never see not I don't say ever, but it may not see 1600 anytime soon. Um, there's a lot of news going on right now, and we're extended. Um, you know, maybe we see some sell off, maybe we see a correction. You don't know. Nobody knows when that's going to happen. So you have to keep your stops, no matter how excited somebody might get about seeing this $20 potential target. You have to honor your stops. So let's take a look at what we have here. Coca-Cola. We look at the yearly. Looks good on the year. It's an inside candle, kind of hammerish. I know it's not a hammer, but I'm going to call it a hammer. Um, Good on the quarter. Inside month. Pretend this doesn't exist because normally I do this video before this candle exists, so this shouldn't, just ignore this. So on the monthly, it doesn't look like a great candle. We're kind of coming back down through the range off the top of the broadening formation. So um, this could go either direction. If it goes to the upside, your trigger is going to be 57.55, a break of this previous high. Your targets are going to be, your first target's 59. If you come down to the weekly, um, yeah, we can't. Oh, I can go back on a weekly. Second target is this candle high. Third's this candle high. So 59.80 and 60.13. If we pull back to the downside, let's take a look at what that'll look like. So we're looking at a break. Let me go back to the month. This is where it kind of gets tricky. We're looking at a break below this candle of 55.45 for an entry. We go to the weekly. Take a look at the weekly. We have target 1 here. Low, this candle 55.16. Target 2 was a previous high from back. This may be from a daily. No, right here. Previous high back here that kind of offered some support or some resistance here. So we're going to look at that for target 2. Now target 3 is kind of no man's land, but if you come down to the daily, take a look at the daily chart here. We have a gap here. So target 3 is going to be the start of this gap, 54.75. Target 4 is going to be a gap fill, 54.60. Target 5 is the low of this candle at 54.27. And these all came from the weekly chart. The only one I got from the daily chart was that gap, because gaps are pretty strong. So target 5, this was the gap fill here. Target 5 is 54.27. Target 6 is 53.55. And you can keep on going down. You can look at this. You look here. So either way, Coca-Cola could go either direction. It actually looks good for either direction, maybe more so to the downside, but it's had a good year, so I'd be careful. MGM, look at the year. It's had a really good year. Look at the quarter. It struggled early on, but it's popping back up. We may end up going outside candle here. The month had an inside month, but it was a pretty strong candle. We had a 2 down, opened up inside, pulled back, stayed inside, came back up, so almost went 3, or actually, I shouldn't say almost went 3. We had to go down a little bit lower. You have to go 2 down before you can go 3, so it's not really an almost 3, but it's pretty much the same size as the previous candle almost. So, excuse me, I got something in my throat here. So we have the inside candle. This would not exist. So pretend this isn't here, same as the previous chart we looked at. So we're looking for a break above this candle. However, if you look at the weekly, you can see it. You can see it from the monthly also, but we have a previous high here, and it's so close to this one that I'm actually going to use this target, or this high here is the trigger. This one was 43.64, 43.82. Only what, a 18 cent difference. So I'm going to use this as my trigger here. So if we come down to the weekly, okay, daily, and I did that. The reason I did that, if you look at the weekly, there's a pretty big range here. It's not really that big. It's only $1, a little over $1. But I wanted to come down to the daily to try to get more targets in between. So if you take a look at this high here, is target 1 of 44.20, target 2 is 45.34. There's not a lot of range on MGM, but you could still make decent profits on it. So that's what I'm looking at for that. If you look at the weekly, we're more inclined to go to the upside to test previous highs than we are to go to the downside. So looking for MGM to the upside. Starbucks, good year, but it's pulling back. Same with the quarter. It had a good beginning of the quarter, but it's come back down, and now it's coming back up a little bit. Actually, no, it's not. It opened here, went way up, and it's still pulling back. So if you look at the monthly, you'll see it's on its way back down. Inside, down. It's not inside down, but it's an inside candle, but it's bearish. It's red. If you look at the weekly, we're starting to bounce back up here, so we may come back up and test some of these. That's the only reason I didn't look at it to the downside. Not saying it won't go to the downside. If we break this low, you could trade this back down to the downside. But if you look at the weekly, we're actually, we're looking at a 212 on a weekly. So we're looking to start taking out some of these previous highs here. So we're looking at a break above monthly inside candle, break above 122.98. If you want to be more aggressive, you could look for a break above this 118. What is this? 119.02. You could look for a break above that. That's the high of this candle. It's actually 118.98. If you look basically 119, if you look for a break above 119, you could get an early entry. A safer entry would be up here, but maybe by 1/4 of your position size when you break 119, and then look to add when we break 122.98. So that would be one way to play it. So if you look at the weekly here, your trigger is going to be here. Target, come down to the daily, and we run into the same thing again. Look at this gap. Not a huge gap. It's only 50 cents, 45 cents. But first target is going to be the start of this gap at 123.47. Second target is going to be a gap fill at 123.92. Third target is going to be 126.16, this high here. Fourth target is going to be 126.32, which is previous high. So that's what we're looking at for Starbucks. UPS ups. This one gets a little bit busy. Nice yearly candle. It has pulled back recently though. Quarterly candle, not so pretty. It's inside quarter and it's coming down. Monthly candle, it looks like we may look for a bounce here. So keep that. Watch for that bounce. The quarterly looks bearish, or more bearish than bullish, given the recent, most recent activity. But if you look at more recent activity, it looks like it's starting to come back up. So, we may see this come back up and test highs again. So, yeah, you kind of have to factor in, all the charts at once. It looks kind of bearish if you look at, a few weeks out. But if you look at the current week, the previous week, it looks a little bit more bullish. So you have to watch for that reversal to see if we start coming back up to test highs. So here's your inside month right here. Let me go back to the monthly so it looks more clear. Again, pretend this doesn't exist. So you're looking for a break above this candle here, which is 199.51. Come down to the weekly. And you see I have a target here. Well, let's go to the daily. And these big red candles are nice. If you come to the daily, we have a big gap. We tried to we entered the gap here, but just kind of failed. Didn't do anything with it. Look for it to break this high and try to fill that gap again. And that's what I'm liking on this chart. Big gap fill. You may see a little bit of resistance right here. 206.67-ish. May see a little bit of resistance right here, but I'm not really going to worry about it much. What you may see is it come up, maybe get to that level, pull back a little, consolidate a little, and build enough energy to break through that one to get up here the next time. So looking at the gap fill of 209.35, nice $10 range there. This high here would be target 2, and these came from the daily chart, or the weekly chart actually. Come back to the weekly. Target 2 is this candle. Target 3, and it's the same thing. I just wanted to go to the weekly to show you how I got that, but this is target 2, target 3 is here, target 4 is here, target 5 is here, and target 6 up here. So 209.35 is your first target, 212.25 is your second, 213.25 is your third, 213.73 is your fourth, 214.71 is your fifth, and 214.93 is your sixth. So shop is the last one. Looking great on the year. Looking pretty good on the quarter. Struggling as of late. Pretend, we're on a monthly. Pretend this candle doesn't exist. Here's our inside. Look for a break above it, which is 1583.37. Come down to the weekly. And what I do is I just glance here and look for gaps. Looking at this, I don't see any gaps on the weekly. Anything that's within what we're looking at now. Daily, not seeing any gaps here. If there's gaps back here, they've been filled, so we don't need to look any further back. So we're looking at 1583.37. Target 1 is 1602.42. This candle. Target 3 is going to be 1649.23. You could argue a target 3 here at 1650, but we're so close to 1650. If we hit 1649.23, I'm out. I'm not going to, we moved, what is that, $60, $65, something like that. I'm not going to try to squeeze out that extra 77 cents. So we get to here, I'm out. So that's it for this month. Like I said again, sorry I was late getting this out. Just forgot all about it. It slipped my mind. The only one that kind of may may conflict with how you usually see me do these is this one already triggered but pulled back. Normally, once they trigger and pull back, I'm done with them. But I'm going to keep this one on watch here to see if it does. And actually, I would be looking now, instead of the trigger being the high of this candle, I'd look for a break of the high of this one. The high of this one's 1588. So I'd look for a high of this candle break. But technically, if you pretend this doesn't exist, this would be your entry. So that's it for this month. I'm going to do my weekly watch list here in a few minutes. So I'll have that video out shortly. So you'll see 2 videos from me today. And good luck, and hope you guys make some money on it. Thanks for watching. Bye.